Good evening, everybody. This is Suzanne Shirley here with the Perfectly Plexus. No, with the Plexus Freedom for Life team. And I kind of feel like I'm in part of Perfectly Plexus as well. But tonight we're going to go over the chapter, what is this? Chapter 5. Chapter 5 of John Maxwell's The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And we are all Plexus ambassadors. So if you're a Plexus ambassador and you're watching this recording, we go over the entire chapter. I take it apart for you, give you my take on it. And then we have a discussion afterwards, but the discussions are private with our team. But I encourage you to learn with us. This is an incredible experience. The law of consistency is so important in doing, this book focuses on growing yourself so that whatever profession, whatever endeavor, whatever undertaking that you are either considering or working on, you will become successful in that venture or in that endeavor. Personal growth is where success lies. And personal growth involves trial and error. It involves failure. It involves self-discovery, awareness of your own self, reflection, making mistakes. And you know what? This is the road that we are on. We always say that network marketing, or you could say Plexus, network marketing or Plexus, is simply personal growth and development with a compensation plan attached to it. I personally like to say Plexus is that because Plexus has a generous compensation plan, and we have an incredible company, and we have an incredible line of products that are unmatched, and our compensation plan is unlike any other. It is so generous. We are paid on every level of 7 and as wide as you want without getting into detail, but it is profit sharing from the very beginning. But anyway, I just really believe in personal growth and development. So if you dig in and you grow yourself and you develop yourself, you will become a success. And even if you're not moving at the rate that you want your business to move at, let's say, for example, that you feel like you just can't get things to happen for your business. If you can consistently work at your business, right? Chipping away at prospecting and following up and reaching out to new people, you're going to get better at it. How? The more you grow. The more you grow, the more confident you're going to become, the more belief you're going to have in yourself, the more posture you're going to have. You are just going to become a success, and you will eventually attract the right people to yourself, and it will happen for you. So that's why I'm saying you are on the right road if you are growing yourself. Okay, let's get into this. Motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. Motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. The hallmark of excellence, the test of greatness, is consistency. And that's Jim Tressel. That's a former head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes. I don't like them. They are our rival team. I'm a big Michigan fan. But he was an incredible coach, I have to say. The hallmark of excellence, the test of greatness, is consistency. You have to continue to do these things over and over and over and over and over again, and that's what creates success. Inspiration and motivation are wanted. People want inspiration and motivation all the time, right? But they're fleeting. Those things are fleeting. You must become disciplined. That's the law of consistency. Discipline is what you do every single day. It's the little stuff. I try to tell my students that all the time. It's showing up on time. It's bringing your materials. It's having a good attitude. It's reading the chapter the night before, studying the concept from the day before that we performed in class, practicing that at home, being able to reflect and recall on certain different questions that I asked regarding review the next day. Those are the things, those are the small behaviors that breed success. And it's the truth, but they never seem to get it. My students, they would sit in the class and look at me with their mouths hanging open thinking I was crazy. The little things make me successful. And they would always say, I always had a smart aleck that would say, well, I'm not getting a paycheck for this. And when you're talking to people like that, I'm sure some kids that really understood what I said and what I meant, but the ones that you just couldn't get through their thick skull and they were just for the here and now and they were like, okay, show me the money. You're not going to help people like that, right? Those are the people that are going to stay stagnant in their lives. The ones that believe in doing the small things, little things every single day are going to be successful. Here's the truth when it comes to personal growth. Motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. That's the law of consistency. It does not matter how talented you are. You can have as much talent as you want. Doesn't matter how many opportunities you receive. If you want to grow, consistency is the key. Ask Michael Jordan. Had tons of talent. If all he did was sit back and rely on his talent and did not practice, he would have been a failure. Kobe Bryant would have been a failure had he just been living on talent and never practiced. Okay? You can think of every baseball great player. If all they did is sit around and rely on their talent and they never practiced, they would be a huge failure. Okay? How do you grow in consistency? Well, if you want to become more disciplined and consistent in your performance, you need to become more disciplined and consistent in your growth. In your growth. You've got to be disciplined and consistent in your personal growth. Every single day, 15 pages of something. Every single day, without fail. If you can't do 15 pages of something every single day, 15, 30 minutes of audio while you're driving, while you're cooking, while you're something, whatever. Hands busy, mind not busy. You need to be listening to something. If you cannot sit down with a book, and I understand many of you cannot. It was so hard for me to do that when I was working full time. When I drove, I was learning. When I was when I was making my salad, I was learning. When I was grading mindless papers for completion or various other tasks that were mindless, I was listening to audio. Don't you think that my mind was not processing something while it was free to, well, my hands were busy, but my mind was free. And I am challenging you to constantly grow yourself. So, number one, do you know what you need to improve? George Lorimer said, you've got to get up every morning with determination if you're going to go to bed with satisfaction. Get up with determination, right? It's important to know where to direct that determination. Where are you going to direct it? You must develop yourself to be successful. You got to do it, okay? All the time, John says he sees people with purpose who are inconsistent in their progress. They've got a lot of purpose, but they're inconsistent with their progress. They have ambition and to succeed, they've got ambition, right? And they show aptitude for the job. But get this, they do not move forward. Why is that? Because they think that they can master, get this, because they think they can master their job and that they don't need to master themselves. That is profound. You need to really get that nugget. That's a huge nugget, okay? People all over the place have a lot of purpose, but they're inconsistent with progress. Why? They're not moving forward. They show a lot of aptitude. They got a lot of passion, but they're not moving forward. Why? Because they think in their heads they just need to master their job and not master themselves. Oh my, that's a fallacy. That's the definition of so many people's lives. They're just working like they're in a little cycle where they're just pretend there's like a mouse on a little wheel, and all he does is just keep running. He gets better at running, right? He's running and running, but now he doesn't know how to effectively run. He's not practicing the laws of effective running. So he's just putting a lot of work forth, but he's never going to get anywhere. So I think that's telling. I think it's telling, right? Okay, I'm going to go back in and mute everybody again. Okay, so your future is dependent on your personal growth, period. Improving yourself daily guarantees you a future filled with possibilities. And when you expand yourself, you expand your horizons and your options and your opportunities and your potential. So I'm telling you right now, the more you keep growing yourself, and I mean this with every fiber of my soul, the more you keep growing yourself, the more doors will just open up around you. You will see more opportunities everywhere you go. You'll start to attract more people, the right ones. They'll seem like you'll have new ideas in your head that you never had before. You will be more successful. I'm telling you, growth, personal growth is where it's at. That's where the dollar signs are, guys. You got to get that concept. If you don't get this concept, you lose before you start. You can work for 20 years doing something and never get really amazing at yourself. You might be able to master the tasks of the job, but you're not mastering yourself. When you master yourself, you not only master your job and the tasks of your job, but you master life. You are a winner. You are a true winner. Okay, so John says that I grew from taking care of people to leading them. This is his personal growth, okay? He grew from just taking care of people to leading people. What else did he do? He went from speaking to audiences to writing a lot of books, okay? He expanded from influencing only little small religious organizations to many different kinds of organizations, not just religious ones, educational, business, you name it. All kinds of organizations. Okay, he improved his focus from institutional to entrepreneurial. Wow, okay? His influence changed from local to national, and now it's international. That's his influence. He went from maintaining organizations to founding them and then growing them. Instead of maintaining some organizations, he founded new ones and he grew them and expanded them. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. That blows my mind. And that's what's possible when you focus on personal growth. Why has it happened to him? Well, because he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He mastered himself. He improved himself. He didn't just master his position or his job. Okay. So E.M. Gray says this: the successful person has the habit of doing the things that failures don't like to do. The successful person does not like doing them either, but his dislike is subordinated to the strength of his purpose. It's doing all the things you don't enjoy doing. You don't like doing it necessarily. Doesn't feel good right now. Don't see the results right now. Okay, but you do it anyway because you know that this leads to success, right? Absolutely. Okay, number 2, do you know how you are supposed to improve? How is it that you're supposed to do it? Four things you're supposed to do, okay, to get started in personal growth. Match your motivation to your personality type. Get your motivation level equivalent to your personality type. You got to know yourself. Are you a blue, a red, a green, or a yellow? Those are the 4 colors of network marketing personalities, right? Now, if you look for the diagnostic, DISC, or I forget the different acronyms, but it's phlegmatic, the ones who are playful and relaxed, happy-go-lucky, adventurous, just kind of take it at, go with the flow, don't plan. A lot of them are just kind of quiet and, you know, maybe they're outgoing, but they just don't have a plan. Cholerics are the reds. They want decision making, action. They're going. They have goals. They set them. They work hard. They're driven. Right. Sanguine, the blues. Those are the people that just have a party. Everything is, they're action oriented as well, but everything is regarding fun and partying, and they like to meet new people. And if they're not meeting new people, they're not happy. Right? They go where all the people are. And then the last one's melancholy, which is green. The melancholy person is statistic driven and informational driven, data driven, factual. They want to consider all the angles before they make a decision. They are not emotional in their decisions. They are logical in their decision. And they evaluate. They are good readers of people. They will sit back and analyze a situation from all aspects and take note of things before they jump in, right? That's the melancholy, the detail person, right? So you got to know yourself, right? You got to know yourself, match your personality type to your motivation. You can go back and read those if you want to on page 72. Start with the simple stuff. Start with the simple stuff. That's the second thing you're going to do, okay? Don't attempt too much. When you attempt too much at one time, you're going to get discouraged. It's like going out and trying to run 5 miles when you sat on the couch for the last year, okay? You're not going to go out and run 5 miles when you've been sitting on the couch for a year. You need to start with the couch to 5K or whatever. You need to take it in little bitty chunks and really get going with it and consistently work at it. But don't think you're going to go out and run 5 miles the first day. It's not going to happen. Not even 1 mile, probably. Not even a half a mile. So you got to start and you just got to keep going, right? Chip away at it. Start with the simple stuff. Next thing, I'm going to move on. Hang on. Ian McGregor. He's an industrialist. He said, I work on the same principle as people who train horses. You start with the low fences, right? You start with the low fences. Get your horse to jump over a low fence. Easily achieved goals. And then you work up. You work up. It's important to management that you never, start over. It's important in management never to ask people to try to accomplish goals that they cannot accept. You don't ever do that. You don't ask that of yourself. That's asking too much. You'll get discouraged. Okay? Don't do it. Moving on. If you want to grow, do not try to win big. Try to win small. You're going to win small. You're going to win small, over and over again. You're going to have all these little bitty tiny victories. And guess what? They all add up to what? The grand slam. Life freedom. Financial independence. Beach money. The house of your dreams. Time freedom. Go wherever you want to go. Give to whoever you want to give. Don't have to look at your checkbook. Right? Fulfill your family's destiny. Become the person God wanted you to be. That's how you're going to win big, is by winning small over and over again. Success in most things comes not from gigantic strokes of fate, but from simple incremental progress. Number 3, be patient. Got to be patient. If you think this is not happening quick enough, let me tell you something. Plexus, it's going to happen a lot quicker in Plexus than it is over here someplace else in a different company. Okay, the industry standard, the industry itself in our profession, 5 years to get to 6 figures. 5. How many people make it in less than 5? Quite a few. Quite a few. Okay, our company's compensation plan makes it so much more possible, right? 10 years guarantees it. 10 years never quitting. Top of the game. You're at the top of the company in 10 years. That's the industry standard. 10 years in network marketing, the same company, you're going to move up to the top. A Persian poet, Saadi, his name is Saadi, I hope I'm saying it right. Have patience. All things are difficult before they become easy. They're going to be difficult first before you ever get to making them easy. It's just going to happen like that. Most people never realize how close they are to achieving significant things because they give up way too soon. They expect things to happen too quick. And they just think that, oh, it's never going to happen for me. If you're not making $5,000 within 2 or 3 months, well, then something's wrong, either with the company or everybody else, but it's certainly not yourself, right? And you just give up. Well, sorry. Too high of expectations, okay? Not patient. Everything worthwhile in life takes dedication and time. John Maxwell, the law of process, right? The people who grow and achieve the most are the ones who harness the power of patience and persistence. Patience and persistence. Patience and persistence during the valleys. Sorry, the valleys is what I meant. The low times. Patient, persistent. So you're in a valley, you don't quit working, right? You just keep going. And you're patient and you keep believing and you keep working. If you're in a valley, you don't stop. You're in a valley doesn't mean that you just give up. You keep going. I'm in a valley. I've been in a valley for 8 months. I'm never going to give up. I'm going to keep going. I work my freaking butt off. And now I can do it full time if I want. I don't watch TV anymore. I threw TV out the window like 2 months ago. I decided TV is a waste of my time. I will be watching The Walking Dead. Who be crazy not to do that, right? It's a good show. Value the process. Next one. Okay? Cultivate the ability to value and enjoy the process of growth. Love where you're at. Be grateful to God in the place where you're at, and know that He has not brought you here to just drop you off. Okay? And I will never stop saying that to you guys and to myself. God did not bring this into your life to just drop you off and leave you here. Ain't going to happen. He's going to carry you through and finish the deal, okay? Till you are in glory land. Trust me, the promised land is coming. You just got to keep working for it. It's there, okay? I can see it. I can see it. It is going to take a long time, so you might as well enjoy the journey, right? I'll tell you a little side note here. I had to look up and do a check on myself. I had to reevaluate. I had to self-talk. I do that quite often. Last year, this time, it was October 2015. I was praying over my dream board every day, eating my cereal, crying before I went and took a shower every morning. Oh, God, you got to get me out of this job. It's just killing me, Lord. I'm just working 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week. I just don't have time. I just am dying. I'm always exhausted, right? Bawling and crying over my dream board, laying my hands on it, crying. Please, God, begging God. I will beg you, God. That's what I was doing, okay? Here I am now, 8 months at Senior Ruby. Last year, this time I was Senior Gold. Now I've been 8 months at Senior Ruby. Granted, get this, I'm retired. What have I been doing lately? Oh, please, God. Yeah. Hello? I had to hit myself in the head. I'm like, what are you doing? Snap out of it. God brought you all this way. You're retired. You're sitting at home doing your job. Okay, you're not there yet. Yes, you see some things that might, if you don't rank up pretty soon, things could happen. You'll have to cut back, make some corners, cut some corners. You'll make it. It's going to be all right. God's going to do it. He's going to finish it. I had to recheck myself, right? Well, we're not going to act like that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to fall prey to this, freak out attack. Value the process. Love where you're at. Evidently, there's a reason why you're there. Have you thought about that? Maybe God is trying to teach you something that you have to learn. And if you don't learn this thing, you will not be able to lead a team that blows up. Maybe you don't know this thing and your team blows up. How would you deal with all that explosion? You'd lose them, right? Trust in the Lord. He has a plan. Be patient. Love where you're at. Preaching to self. Okay. Charlene Armitage, who's a life coach, said this: life goals are reached by setting annual goals. Annual goals are reached by reaching daily goals. And daily goals are reached by doing things which may be uncomfortable at first, but eventually become habits. Habits are powerful things. Habits turn actions into attitudes and attitudes into lifestyles. I love that quote. That's a great quote. If you can visualize tomorrow, you can use it as motivation to grow. But if you want to actually grow, your focus needs to be on today. What are you doing today? If you value today and you enjoy where you're at, you find a way to enjoy it, right? You will invest in today when you do that, okay? And the small steps that you take today will lead to bigger steps that you take someday. You can't live tomorrow until you live today. Okay, so in the book called Winning, The Answers by Jack and Susie Welch, they assert this: too many people believe that one big public success will solve their whole self-confidence problems forever. How many people do you know that think that, right? Maybe you think that. That only happens in the movies, guys. Only happens in the movies. In real life, the opposite strategy is what works. Call it the small victories approach. You got to have the small victories, okay? Number 3, do you know why you want to keep improving? Do you know why you want to do it? Got to have that why. Take the why test. Mike Murdoch talks about it. I just skipped a whole bunch of stuff. It's your why power. There's power behind your why. You got to have the why. Do you know why you want to keep improving? Questions. You need to find out if your why is solid enough to motivate you to consistently grow. You've got to find out if your why is solid enough to motivate you to consistently grow. What are some questions you can ask yourself? Number 1, do you constantly procrastinate on important tasks? Do you do that? Answer that question. Number 2, do you require coaxing to do small chores? Number 3, do you perform duties just to get by? Are you checking off those little things in the IPA challenge this week? Okay, I did that. Okay, I'm done. Your heart wasn't in it. I'm just checking off the boxes, jumping in through the hoops. Maybe you didn't do the IPA challenge this week. Maybe you're procrastinating. I don't need to do that. I've got this down. I got my own plan. I don't need to do that challenge. Ooh, am I hitting home? Am I hitting home just a little bit? Uh-oh. What about Highway to Emerald? There's a lot of us in Highway to Emerald. Are you just jumping through the hoops in there? You just doing the assignment because it's there and it's been told that you do it or you get out? Uh-oh. Guys, let me tell you something. Your heart's not in it. Your why is not big enough. If you can't see the value in the things that we're doing with these challenges and these contests, these things that make you do something worthwhile to grow your business, and all you're doing is jumping through hoops and checking off boxes and whatnot, you might as well just hang your hat up. Okay? Preaching to self. I'm not going to put myself above you. I won't do it. Okay? I'm not going to ever do that. I'm not holier than thou in any way, shape, or form. So as soon as I'm preaching to you, I'm preaching to me. I'm telling you so. This is where we've got to check ourselves. Okay? Are you performing duties to just get by? Okay? Next question. Do you constantly talk negatively about your work? Hopefully you're not doing that. I know I've heard of some people, not in this team, but other people in other teams that have talked negatively about their work or about the company or about something. And you know, they're not going anywhere doing that. It's just a dead standstill. And they're destroying the team by doing it too. Number 5, do efforts of friends to encourage you irritate you instead? Ouch. Those are some real evaluating questions. I got 2 more for you. Number 6, do you start small projects, then abandon them? Don't finish what you start? Big red flag. Number 7, do you avoid self-improvement opportunities? Not consistently showing up to Zooms or reading books or watching training videos or making excuses for why you can't do whatever personal growth development things with the team. A lot of you that are on this call tonight would never do that. But I'm talking to more than just the people that are live on this call. I'm talking to people that are watching this video, okay? Because it's going to be recorded. So I'm asking you, do you avoid self-improvement opportunities? You got to show up to go up, okay? You better find some meetings in your area. You better get on your team calls. You better go to every event you can imagine. Get online, go to online events, get involved with your team. Got a thing called a computer and a phone. The internet is all over the place, okay? We it's where, put your money where your mouth is. Turn on your phone, get on your video call, get on your phone call, do whatever it takes to plug in to a meeting or to a training. If you answer yes to many of these questions, you have not tapped into a strong enough or a big enough why to keep you growing. You just haven't, and you're going to quit. You're close to quitting. In fact, if you can answer a lot of those, Yes. I'm surprised you're not quitting yet, that you haven't quit yet. Okay. You got to get a big why. It's got to be so big it makes you cry and it makes you work like I did. I worked all day. Okay. I obviously have a big enough why. This is Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. I should be relaxing. And yes, I did relax this morning. I did some posture exercises. I watched a little tiny show while I ate something. That's the only time I watch anything is while I eat something. I read the Word. I read the Bible. I prayed some. I spent some quiet time alone and listened to the Lord and prayed and thought about some things. I walked out in the driveway and looked up at the sky and contemplated how big the world is and thanked God for all he had done for me. Yes, I gave myself a little bit of a break, but I worked the rest of the day. Okay, I worked the rest of the day. And I'm telling you something, that's because I have a why. I could have gone looking around all over the place with my husband. We could have gone to every shop because that's what he likes to do. I could have found a movie I wanted to see. Heck, I could have watched one of the 250 ones that I got on my shelf over there over and over again like I used to do and went nowhere with my life, grading a bunch of papers all weekend long. But I'm telling you what, I'm sitting here building my dream. And I can answer, do I do these things? No, I don't. I don't do any of those things. Questions 1 through 7, I'm going to answer those. No, I don't do them. Now, am I perfect? Absolutely no. I just have a big, massive why. You got to ask yourself, you got a big why? Do you have a big why? That's the question. And if you don't have one, you better find one. You better write it down and you better grow it up and contemplate it, make a dream board on it, look at it, pray on it, eat on it, brush your teeth on it, sleep on it. Heck, it wakes me up at night and gives me pains in my stomach. I recently did a video for this team where I talked about my fears. Why is it that I'm having fears? Because I want this so bad. My husband woke up this morning and said, "Are you crying?" I kid you not. Because he's used to me crying in bed in the morning. We just got to make this happen. Right? I'm laughing. You got to laugh at yourself at some point. Okay? Seriously. Okay? Does that show you how bad I want to go someplace with my life and move in the right direction? And you've got to have that desire too. You don't need to be your version of me. You don't need to be my personality. You don't need to be loud and boisterous and all that stuff. You just need to be you, your version of passion, your version of determination, and your why needs to be huge. Okay, I'm going to move on. Vince Lombardi said, once you learn to quit, it becomes a habit. That's a sad statistic. Darren Hardy, who wrote this incredible book called The Compound Effect, and I actually have that on audio. It's awesome. I won't read this because it is so profound. The Compound Effect. The compound effect is the principle of reaping huge rewards from a series of small, smart choices. What's most interesting about the process to me is that even though the results are massive, the steps in the movement don't feel significant. Whether you're using the strategy for improving your health, relationships, finances, or anything else for that matter, the changes are so subtle, okay? They're almost imperceptible. You don't notice them. You're just growing. Okay. These small changes offer little to no immediate results that you can determine. No big win, no obvious "I told you so" payoff. So why bother doing them? Why? Why even bother? Most people get tripped up by the simplicity of the compound effect. For instance, they quit after the 8th day of running because they're still overweight. Oh, darn. It's not coming off quick enough. Or they stop practicing the piano after 6 months because they haven't mastered anything other than chopsticks, okay? Or they stop making contributions to their IRA after a few years because they couldn't use the cash. Sorry, they could use the cash after all, right? And it doesn't seem to be adding up that much anyway. So why bother saving up for in your IRA? What they don't realize is that these small, seemingly insignificant steps completed consistently over time will create radical difference. Huge. Okay? All right. Number 4, do you know when you are supposed to improve? When are you supposed to do it? Okay. When do you need to improve? The obvious answer is, guess what? Right now, today. Right now, today. That's when. Leo Buscaglia said, life lived for tomorrow will always be just a day away from being realized. You can't live for tomorrow. You got to live now, today. More important, you need today to be every day. You got to be living today every single day. You're never going to change your life till you change something that you do every single day, daily. Developing great habits. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. And that bridge must be crossed over every single day. Every day. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. You got a goal, never going to accomplish it unless you get discipline going every day, every single day, right? That bridge has to be crossed every day. Okay. From the time, this is Brian Tracy, author and speaker. From the time you get up in the morning to the time that you go to sleep at night, your habits largely control the words you say, the things you do, and the ways that you react and respond. Your habits control all that. Okay? You got to make right habits, and you got to develop them over time on a daily basis. And when you get those habits right, guess what? Success. Okay, so maybe it's time to stop setting goals, says John Maxwell. Maybe it's time to stop setting goals. Consistency is not easy. Novelist Aldous Huxley said, consistency is contrary to nature, contrary to life. The only completely consistent people are dead. Pat yourself on the back. You're not dead. Take a big laugh. The only consistent person truly in life is dead. Okay? So you're not perfect. Am I completely consistent? Heck no. Are you going to work at that till you die? Absolutely. Yeah. You're going to have to do it. And if you don't do it, though, you'll never be successful. You got to work at it all the time. Okay? So instead of being goal conscious, instead of concentrating on your goals, concentrate on being growth conscious. Growth conscious. Okay? Goals consciousness focuses on a destination, whereas growth concentrates on the journey. Goal consciousness motivates you and others, whereas growth consciousness matures you and others. I love that one. Goal consciousness is seasonal, comes and goes, right? Growth consciousness, lifelong. Lifelong, you're never going to stop, no matter how old you are. Goal consciousness challenges you. It challenges you. Growth consciousness changes you. It changes you. And goal consciousness, last one, stops when a goal is reached. Growth consciousness keeps you growing beyond the goal. You know, I'm going to stop here for a second and say something. Think about network marketing. Think about Plexus. Do you ever just quit? Do you ever just retire? You know, Deborah Lawson, she's one of the older diamonds in the company. She's way after retirement age. Her husband's a way retired minister. Both of them are diamonds. Do you know she's never going to retire? I mean, why would you ever retire in Plexus? You know, it's the kind of job where you can do it whenever. You can do it if ever. You can do it wherever. And you have the freedom to choose if or not that you do it for a week or two or a month. You know, if you want to take big breaks once you're a diamond, you're a big diamond, you've got all kinds of diamonds underneath you or whatever, you can take more breaks, right? Who would ever get sick and tired of meeting new people and helping them? Seriously, would it ever get tiring? I would never get tired of it. Why would I ever stop doing this? I don't care how old I am. I can still sponsor somebody and help them get healthy. I can still sponsor somebody and show them how to go to silver. I can still sponsor somebody and tell them how to get a nice big residual income paycheck, right? We don't ever have to quit this. We're going to be doing it for life. I love that it's lifelong. I love that, okay? John Williams, I'm just going to tell you about him. I'm not going to read about him. He's a composer. He wrote the most amazing music for E.T., some of the greatest Steven Spielberg movies you can think of. Oh, gosh, all these great movies, okay? John Williams. He did Harry Potter, I think, several other things. Anyway, studied at Juilliard. It's a piano school, artistic school. He gained 60 years of experience in all these different things that he did, symphonies that he wrote, film scores, concertos that he wrote, symphonic works that he did. He's nominated for all these Academy Awards 40-something times, winning 5 times, but nominated 40-something times, okay? Nominated for all these Golden Globes and Emmys, okay? How does he do it? How does he do all that? By being consistent. By being consistent. Do you know what his number one thing that he did every single day without fail, whether he wanted to do or not? Whether he wanted to do it or not. He sat down at the piano and he wrote something every day. He wrote some sort of music every single day, whether it turned out to be something great or whether it just stunk. He did it anyway, because when you start doing something, you get an idea. You become inspired. You become more motivated. You start to think of something new. Think about it. Action breeds all sorts of stuff. Action is where you start, and then all of a sudden, something beautiful comes as a result of it. So you can have no motivation. In order to become motivated, you start acting. When you start acting, all of a sudden you're motivated. When you're acting and you're motivated, you can become inspired. When you're acting, you're motivated and you're inspired. Now you're creative. Now you're just imagining all sorts of things, right? Think about what action does on a consistent daily basis. That's what he did every day. Almost done. John Williams' life and work is the proof of the law of consistency, that it can work, okay? Many other people as well. Anyone who does what he must only do when he's in the mood, right? When you're in the mood to do it, and when it's convenient, is not going to be successful. When you're in the mood to do something, when it's convenient, forget it. You're just kicking the tires. Might as well just hang your hat up and go home. Okay? Not going to be successful doing that. The secret is following through, being consistent, a lifetime of self-discipline and perseverance. Okay? If you develop the habits of success, you will make success a habit, ultimately. Success will be your habit. Can you imagine having success being your habit? Yeah, that's just incredible. Don't forget, motivation gets you going. Discipline keeps you going. Keeps you growing, and that is the law of consistency. So we're going to go over the 3 homework assignment things here. Number 1, align your methods of motivation with your personality type. Figure out what your personality type is and align your methods of motivation with that. Develop a daily growth system that is simple and plays to your strengths. Number 2, value and appreciate the process. Okay? Make a list of everything that you like about personal growth. What is it you like about it? If your list is short, you got to work at it. You're going to have to work at your list, okay? Anything that you can find as motivation will help you develop better growth habits. Anything you can find, okay? And finally, define your whys. Got to get those whys. I love those 7 questions. We're going to go back to them when we have the discussion afterwards. Start compiling the whys. Start writing down why you're doing this. Okay, think of immediate benefits as well as long-term ones. Consider the reasons related to your purpose, vision, and your dreams. Think of how it will help you relationally, vocationally, and spiritually, which is really important. Any reason to grow is a good reason as long as it's your reason, your why. Okay. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to go to the gallery. We're going to say hello and goodbye. Hello and goodbye. This is the Freedom Team. We're getting ready to have our discussion for our team. I'm going to stop recording. Make sure you do the homework. Ask yourself those questions and apply the law of consistency. Okay. Word to your mother.